Reign of Justice Adekoye Ogunmoye as a substantive Chief Judge of Ekiti State oaths tomorrow. In a statement by the Special Advisor Media to the Governor, Mr. Yinka Oyebode, Governor Biodun Oyebanje will preside over the ceremony, which will be held at the Conference Hall, Governor's Office at Ekiti by 2 in the afternoon. The statement urged all invited guests and government functionaries to be seated by 1:30 in the afternoon. Ekiti State Government will today commence a 3-week training program for 500 newly recruited officers of the Amotekun Anti-Grazing and Agro-Martial Corps at the NYC Orientation Camp in Iseorun, Emure, Ekiti. A statement from the State Commissioner for Information, Chief Taiwo Olatubosun, said the main objective of the training program was to equip the newly recruited personnel with the required skills for the effective discharge of their duties. He said that the training will include both theoretical and practical activities, including practical exercise, teamwork, adaptivity, technical proficiency, and physical fitness, focusing on critical aspects of community policing and security operations. And the state agro-marshal has intensified effort to rid local areas of criminal activities. The commander of the corps, Mr. Olamide Oni, gave the information while parading members of a cannabis syndicate arrested in the remote areas after months of surveillance. The report is presented from our studio.
The first suspect paraded at the Agro-Marshal office in Ado-Ekiti was one Atiku Amodu, who was caught with over 351 kilograms of compressed cannabis at Irele-Ekiti. The suspect, who claimed to be a police officer, said during interrogation that he got the cannabis from Ikole-Ekiti to deliver them to his clients in the northern part of the country. The Agro-Marshal commander, Mr. Oni, said that the suspect was arrested at Irele-Ekiti by his men who were on guard.
Last Friday, on 27th June, when my men sighted a strange car, a strange Lexus car at the border post there. Who is this person? They tried to challenge him. Then he decided to show them an officer's identity card, police identity card to be precise. They showed him, you know, an officer, why are you going up and down in this area? Where are you serving? He was unable to give them reasonable account of himself. At the same time, he attempted to escape from them, leaving his car. They grabbed him. After arresting him, they decided to seize the key of his car. After seizing the key of the car, they go into the car search. They search his car and they discover 351 kilograms of compressed lily, compressed in there, lily. Cannabis satisfies the sage.
Another Indian syndicate paraded was arrested at Ikole-Ekiti in Ijeru local government area. The suspect, Oyibo Sunday, who claimed to be a cocoa farmer at Ikole-Ekiti, was alleged to be engaging in Indian hemp cultivation after many months of investigations conducted by the Agro-Marshal officers in the locality. Agro-Marshal commander told journalists that Oyibo Sunday confessed that the cannabis plantation discovered beside his cocoa farm was owned by his son, claiming that the Indian hemp farm has been destroyed upon his arrest.
Monday, we were able to pin a particular person called Oyibo as the owner of the farm. And I ordered that they should go and bring him. And when he came here, after some interview, he agreed that he knows the person who planted the India. Who is the person? He said, the person is my son. He said, the person is my son. Okay, where is your son? Take us there. When we were about going there, he told us that the farm had been destroyed.
The commander, who stressed the determination of the state agro-marshal to stamp out criminalities in all farms in the state, said the suspects will be handed over to the police for further investigation and prosecution. Mr. Oni called on traditional rulers, community leaders, and other landowners to be conscious of who they give their farmlands to for agricultural purpose, noting that many were hiding under farming to engage in illegal acts in the state. The commander also charged all stakeholders to be security conscious and report promptly any security issues to the law enforcement agents to make the state safe for all.
Ahead of the 2026 state governorship election, political leaders, stakeholders, and members of the All Progressives Congress APC have concluded plans for a mega endorsement for Governor Biodun Oyèbánjí and his deputy Okinlua Monisade Afuye for a second term in office. The chairman state endorsement committee for Bao and Tinubu, Chief Abiodun Aluko, who made the revelation at a press conference in Nado, said that the present administration must not be interrupted for good governance to continue. BSS reporter Adedayo Adeleye has the details.
Chief Aluko, while addressing journalists, cited the administration's achievements in infrastructure, education, healthcare, human capital development, and the governor's inclusive leadership as reasons for their decision.
In Ekiti State, of course, you don't need to be told. Even nearly every sector. You talk of teachers, you talk of pensioners, you talk of public servants, you talk of farmers, you talk every sector of the society in Ekiti State has at one time or the other endorsed the governor of Ekiti State for second term. And there is no community, there is no local government in Ekiti State that you cannot, that you will not see the effect of what Bao is doing in Ekiti State.
He announced that the mega endorsement would take place on the 23rd of this month at the Ekiti Parappa Pavilion in Ado-Ekiti.
We are endorsing Bao for second term, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for second term, and both will be unveiled on the 23rd of this month at the Ekiti Kete Pavilion along New Inyi Road.
Chief Aluko also commended President Bola Tinubu for transforming the nation's economy, saying he deserved a second term.
Like the adage, a good turn deserves another. We believe that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be given a second term, and all the stakeholders, including the caucus of APC in Ekiti State, headed by Otunbani Yaribayo and former Governor Fayemi, and all the leaders of APC had at the caucus meeting endorsed President Ahmed Bola Tinubu for second term, as well as Bao for second term as well. What we are witnessing in Nigeria today, well, we thank God that we have somebody like Tinubu, or else the situation would have been much, much worse.
On the newly formed coalition of opposition parties under the African Democratic Congress ADC, Chief Aluko has this to say.
To the best of my knowledge as a person, is dead on arrival. ADC does not exist in Ekiti State. And you know it yourself. Ekiti is virtually a one-party state. PDP, well, you all know that PDP is in the ICU in Ekiti State. And we don't know who and who will go to ADC and give us any headache in Ekiti.
He commended the governor for his exemplary leadership and the visible development across the state. Adedayo Adele reporting.
The state deputy governor Okinlu Amunisade Afuya described women as the determining factor and a force to be reckoned with in the re-election bid of Governor Biodun Oyebanji CAM 2026. The deputy governor made a statement while interacting with the Ekiti APC women leaders in an office in Ado-Ekiti. BSS reporter Adedayo Adele again has the details.
Okinlu Afuya told the women's group that to prosecute the governor's re-election bid, they must remain united and intensify mobilization across the 16 local government areas. She urged them to carry all members along to avoid loopholes that could trigger acrimony within the APC. The deputy governor also directed the women leaders to collaborate with other arms and groups in the party to ensure the proposed mobilization tour effectively sensitized the public on the governor's achievements. In her remarks, the secretary to the state government, Professor Abibat Adubiaru, announced that the local government tour would begin on Monday in Ekiti East.
On Monday, Ekiti East, so bá di aago méjì la máa lọ sí Gbọ́yìn, Èmùrè aago méjì, Ìṣẹ̀ọ̀rún aago mẹ́rin.
The Director General, Office of Community Communications, Mrs. Mary Oshomotosho, charged the women to work towards their shared goals. She noted that the program was an initiative of the First Lady, Dr. Olayemi Abiodun Ibanji, who prioritized party cohesion and inclusivity. The chairperson of the APC Elders Forum Women's Wing, Mrs. Urunke Okusanya, commended the leaders for their support since the start of Governor Oyebanji's administration, describing it as a driving force for effective governance. Adedayo Adele reporting.
The All Progressive Congress South-South Zone rose from its zonal stakeholders meeting in Benin City, Edo State capital, with a resolution to adopt President Bola Tinubu as the sole presidential candidate for the 2027 presidential election. The party in a communique also adopted the 4 governors of the party in South-South as sole candidate for the party in the 2027 governorship election in the 4 states controlled by the party. The 4 governors who benefited from the resolution are Governor Basi Edet of Cross River State, who doubles as the South-South APC coordinator, and Governor Monday Okpebolo of Edo State. Still on politics, former Vice President and a key figure of the African Democratic Congress ADC coalition, Atiku Abubakar, has hinted on running for presidency in 2027. Atiku vowed to punish anybody engaged in corruption if he is elected as the president. He made a revelation while addressing a group of people in Hausa language. Atiku lost in the 2023 presidential election on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) is believed to have moved with his newly formed coalition to the ADC. Though Atiku is yet to officially announce his defection from PDP to ADC, he has been a key figure in the opposition coalition. This is the broadcasting service of Ekiti State.
Admission has commenced in Venate University in Ekiti. management announcer.
Thanks for still tuned to Ekiti FM 91.5. For news, information, or comment, join our live streaming on our Facebook page at State Radio. You can also like and share our page. Now to the rest of the bulletin. The State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, with Universal Basic Education Board, UBEC, has organized a 3-day capacity building workshop for LGEA staff and skills support officers in Edo-Ekiti to enhance basic education quality through improved mentoring and monitoring. SUBEB Chairman Professor Femi Akinwumi commended Governor Biodun Ibanji for his commitment to education, citing achievements such as consistent UBEC counterpart funding upgrade, digitalization, and teacher welfare. The SUBEB commissioners Dr. Olufunke Fajobi and Dr. Kawade Adeoye emphasized the importance of applying for the training to improve learning outcome. The resource person for Nihepa Ondo-led section on effective mentoring, classroom practices, and leadership participants appreciated the training for improving their capacity to support teachers and learners. A delegation from Nasarawa State, led by the Special Assistant to the Governor on Education, Mr. Idris Adamu, has visited the state on a study tour to understudy its Education Trust Fund, ETF, and key institutions. The team applauded Ekiti's notable progress in the education sector, citing it as a model worth emulating. The delegation met with top officials, including the chairman of the House Committee on Education, Mr. Jacob Awoniyi, Commissioner for Education, Dr. Olabimpe Adiri, and Head of Service, Dr. Falakemi Olomojobi. They commended Ekiti's consistent investment in education, including free and compulsory schooling, WAEC fee payment, infrastructure development, teachers training, and scholarship. The ETF Executive Secretary, Mrs. Bosede Jagade, led the team on a tour of strategic agencies and institutions, highlighting the ETF's role in swiftly addressing educational needs. The visit also inspired Nasarawa efforts to establish a similar trust fund, with a draft bill already awaiting answers. The BSCS Pensioners Association is to meet on Tuesday by 10 in the morning. The chairman of the body, Mr. Femi Ajanaku, said that the meeting built for JG Ayelabo Hall in the corporation will, among other things, discuss the welfare of members. As part of the 162nd Nigerian Army Day celebration, residents of Ikere-Ekiti have benefited from a medical outreach offering eye check, blood sugar and prayer test, and dental diagnosis. The outreach aired at the Ogogas Palace was described by the General Officer Commanding 2 Division Major General Obi Na Onobogo as part of the Army's corporate social responsibility to promote elder living, represented by Commander 2 Division Medical Hospital, Brigadier General Chikubuso Okozas. Major General Onobogo reaffirmed the Army's commitment to both security and the citizens' well-being. He thanked the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, for providing logistics for the life-touching program. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has vowed to resist any attempt by the National Assembly to remove labour matters, including the minimum wage, from the exclusive legislative list of the federal government to the concurrent list, where individual states will determine their workers' wage. The NLC President Joe Ajaero issued a warning during the National Administrative Council meeting of the Central Working Committee held in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Our former Chief of Army Staff, retired Lieutenant General Asubuike Icherika, has called for the introduction of mandatory military training for all Nigerians, beginning with the National Youth Service Corps. This, he said, was a way of promoting national unity, discipline, and resilience in the face of growing security and social challenges. Icherika made a call at the 50th anniversary of the Nigerian Defense Academy Regular Course 18 Alumni Association in Abuja. And President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, to participate in the 17th Summit of Heads of State and Government for the Global South and Emerging Economic Bloc. Tinubu's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, made the announcement in a statement. The bloc includes Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and South Africa, also called the BRICS. On the foreign scene, Britain has re-established full diplomatic relations with Syria more than a decade after cutting ties, as Foreign Secretary David Lammy met the country's new leader Ahmed al-Shara in Damascus. In 2011, Britain was among the first countries to acknowledge rebel groups as the official Syrian government after the then President Bashar al-Assad, crushing off pro-democracy protests, plunged the country into civil war. London also joined sanctions against Syria and later closed its embassy in Damascus, going on to launch an airstrike on Assad forces. To sport, head coach Eric Shelley has released a 35-man provisional list for the Super Eagles B squad ahead of the 8th African Nations Championships 2025. The list includes Captain Junior Nduka and Papa Daniel Mustafa, both considered key to Nigeria's home-based national team preparation. The CHAN tournament will be hosted in August by Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. To end the Daybreak news, here again are the main points. We told you that a state government will today commence a 3-week training program for 500 newly recruited officers of the Amotekun, Anti-Grazing and Agro Mashako at the NYC orientation camp, Iseorun Emure Ekiti. It was in the bulletin that the All Progressive Congress APC South Zone has adopted President Bola Tinubu as zone sole presidential candidate for the 2027 presidential election. You also add that the Nigerian Labour Congress NSC has vowed to resist any attempt by the National Assembly to remove the labour matters, including the minimum wage, from the exclusive leads of the federal government. And lastly, on the Daybreak news, and that's it on the Daybreak news. Thanks for listening.
Kàkà ròyìn bó ṣe lọ káàkiri. Iṣẹ́ wa ni. Àwọn ètò àgbọ́gbọ́gbọ́n tó fúnni lóye o. Iṣẹ́ wa ni. Ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú tó ta kókó kátù. Iṣẹ́ wa ni. Sports news entertainment. Iṣẹ́ wa ni. Oyè màmá o ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wa. Bàbá o ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wa. Kábà yín polówó o. Ká jẹ́ kó gbàjẹ́. Rédíò kan bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́kìtì tí gbogbo aráyé ń gbọ́. Àfi kí ọjà kójú gbogbo máa rí. Bá gbogbo bá ń dún gbogbo etí kan ló ń gbọ́ yẹn. Èkìtì FM 91.5 kájọ máa gbọ́.